Just to go over a few things for CalPERS, it's something to keep in mind. Even if somebody's a CalPERS member, they might not always want to go on a CalPERS home loan because it might not always be the best option for them. I'll tell you more about that and why later. But for you in marketing, there's tons of CalPERS members. We're in the capital here. I mean, I looked it up. It was over 171,000 eligible CalPERS members in Sac County alone. So if you're talking to people, say, yeah, we can. You're in there, they work for the state or some local government. Pretty much, it's a safe bet. Anybody working for any state agency or local government, or the city even, is going to be a CalPERS member, in which they would qualify for a CalPERS home loan. And so you can talk about, oh well, you can get discounts on this, this, and this in your transaction, and then I think Remax or somebody has some sort of pre-negotiated deal for the CalPERS. Anybody know about that? Remax has got some. What is that? Some discount at closing, right?
Yeah.
But I think any agent could probably, if they wanted to, just give a credit to clossing if they felt like it, right? Not that you want to give away your commission. But there's reduced fees, there's a float down period, which a lot of people like the idea of. But when it gets down to it, it may not always be the best option for your buyers. So let's just go over who would be eligible and why they might want to do this and why they might not want to do this program. And then that way you can at least talk intelligently about the program and say, hey, this is something you may want to do and maybe would be good for you to do, but there might be other options that are better for you as well. So just look at the first bullet points. It can be any active or inactive member or retired member of the CalPERS system or the legislator's retirement system or the judge's retirement system, okay? So there's a huge pool of buyers that would be eligible for this, okay? So the main program that's active and effective today is the CalPERS FHA program. And the way that works is it's basically just a regular old FHA loan run through CalPERS. And then the benefit to it is that they can get a personal loan from CalPERS to use as their down payment. So say if somebody has no money of their own, nothing to come up with, and they want to buy a house, they can get a 96.5% CalPERS FHA first mortgage, and then they can get a personal loan for the minimum down payment, and they can have 3% seller credit, pay for all their closing costs, and they just bought a house with nothing out of pocket. The downside to doing it that way is that personal loan that you get from CalPERS is basically just like a cash advance on a credit card. So if you get a $5,000 or $10,000 loan from CalPERS for your down payment, you're going to have to be paying payments on that, and it's a rate of 8%. And then depending on how much you borrow, it dictates how long the amortization and payback period is on that personal loan. So most people don't like 8% in general. You can go on and do a cash advance on a credit card for 4.9%. You probably get the offers in the mail all the time. Yes?
Isn't that 8%? Aren't they paying themselves back?
No. Well, yes and no. Indirectly, yes, because all the proceeds go into the CalPERS fund. It's just like another investment they have out on the table, but it doesn't have any direct benefit to them personally. So the way it works is, say, if they've got, yeah.
So, but if they borrow the money from their retirement, they're paying themselves back. That's different.
No, because they're not borrowing the money from their retirement. Mm-hmm. So for example, let's say if somebody has $20,000 in their CalPERS retirement, mm-hmm. they can use up to 50% of that amount in the form of a personal loan. Okay, so they could get $10,000 from CalPERS to use for down payment. Okay, up to $10,000 from CalPERS, but it's not coming out of that $20,000 they've got invested in CalPERS. So that $20,000 is not touched. It's sitting there, still making the money it would have been making the whole time. CalPERS has $10,000 from somewhere else they give you in the form of the personal loan to make your down payment, and then you're making your payments back to CalPERS. They're making interest on that, and it just goes to support the whole CalPERS system.
So is it secured by their retirement?
Yes, so it's secured by that. That's using that for security. Exactly.
Thanks for clarifying that.
What's that?
So thanks for clarifying.
Yeah. So that's how that works. So, I mean, the nice thing is it's not like they lose half their balance in their retirement and aren't making money on that investment the whole time. So anyway, that being said, it might not always be the best idea to get a loan for your down payment, with paying 8% interest on the loan. Because there might be, I mean, if this, I normally tell people if there's any other way to come up with the down payment, like gift from family or any other sources, it's going to be better for them. And I'll get into some other reasons for that. I think my next bullet point goes over that. So the other benefits are the float down option. So you get the lower of the three occurrences on your loan. So a date of approval, whatever the rates are there, or the doc draw date, or the lock, or I'm sorry, the date of lock. Yeah, so it's when you submit, I think it's submission, approval, and doc draw, I think. So there's three opportunities to get the lowest rate of the three, and so it's a float down. So people that are rate sensitive can have that peace of mind. The downside is that the FHA CalPERS rates are not normally as low as standard FHA rates, so you can't get them as low of a rate as you would otherwise. So if you can get them at a regular FHA rate of 5%, you might be getting them a CalPERS rate at 5.25%. And if rates go down, then they'll be in luck. If not, then you're stuck with their 5.25%. So the disadvantages: rates are not necessarily better. The down payment is a loan, and the payment is required on that. It's 3% seller credit, so just keep that in mind. And then there's another benefit is there's a lot of eligible members that could work for this. So when you're out there talking to people, if you hear, okay, you work for the state or work for whoever, say, oh, are you a CalPERS member? Okay, well, we might be able to hook you up, and might be a way to maybe bring another couple of clients a year or even per month in the door by talking about that. Any questions on CalPERS?